Okay, today we are going to discuss processing blocks in SAP. What are processing blocks that we will see? And if we go into SAP programs, we will find event blocks, dialog modules, and procedures, and we will be calling these internally and externally. Some of these, like events, can only be called internally. Procedures can be called from external programs as well. Procedures are maintained separately. So there are three types of processing, okay, like events, dialogues, and procedures. Uh, Processing blocks, how they're called, we will actually go into this. And let's find a program we want to write right as of now. So we'll go to SC38. SC38, and over here we shall write a program CT5305 May and processing blocks, create. Okay, over here we will find a code. We will write a code, and that code will help us to understand what we are trying to achieve. Okay, and okay, report types. Begin of TY MAKT, MATNA type, MATNA, SPRAS, MAKTEX, and MAKT. If you look and go into the table SC11, MAKT is a table for descriptions. Over here we have descriptions, MAKTX, which description in capital uppercase, MAKTG, SPRAS, MATNA, MANDT, that is client. Okay. Now, so we are pulling material number, language, and description from MAKT, and this is a structure that we've already made. And then we have MARC. Let's see what is MARC. MARC is basically plant data for material. Plant data for material means which plant is actually having this material. It will have material number, plant, and of course, other areas like purchasing group, other elements too, MRP type. So, and everything about plant and material combination will be in MARC, but we will only find material number, works D, which is plant. Algort, what is Algort? Algort, Alworm. Algort. I'll find it right now. I don't know. Anyways, so another table that we are pulling is T001W. Let's also see that T001W display, and that is plants and branches. So material, plant, and materials at plant and material. Three tables are being pulled. So we will have something. We will have something in common over here. Matner is common in these two, and works D, which is plant, is common in these two. Okay. And we're only pulling only two fields from here. Data internal table of MAKT type standard table of TY MAKT. So standard table, hash table, and binary table. Okay, these are three types of table that we have. internal table, type standard table of TY MAKT, and work area. Internal table and work area are being introduced over here. Internal table and work area for MARC are also being introduced over here. Okay. Now, let's check another table that we will be actually looking at, and that is C. Okay, this is table of variant variables. Now, these variables are actually used in ABAP. Okay. Okay. Next, data RT works type range of works D. Now, range of plants will be given because works D is plant. Okay. And works D is being pulled from this table. And this is a field, a universal field. Okay. So, next that we have parameters P Matner type Matner. Select options S works for work area MARC. Work area MARC works. And what we are trying to do over here is we are trying to bring plant data as an option based on the material number. The combination will actually pull the data for the material from that very plant. Okay. And over here, if we add this loop over here, loop at IT MARC, which is internal table of MARC, into work area, where works equals work area MARC works. So based on plant, what we are actually trying to bring in, based on the plant, we are trying to publish plant and algort. Okay. Now, okay. Loop at IT MARC into MARC where works equals MARC works, which is the plant. Okay, the end loop is done. Select MATNA Spras MAKT from MAKT into table, internal table where MATNA equals P matter parameters and Spras equals system language. Select material number, plant, algort from MARD. No, MARC. This will be C into table IT MARC where MATNA is equal to P MATNA works in S works. If IT MARC is not initial means not filled. Select plant name from T01 into table. Now using internal table. If this is empty, MARC is empty, the internal table is empty, it will select the plant name one from T01 into and load it into the internal table. Okay. Select sign low high from T var C into table S works when name equals check plant. Okay. T var sign of T. Okay, let's check this code. Unknown column name algort. Dot underscore B field IT 44 IT T01W. Okay, we have not actually defined IT T01W. Okay. Data IT T001W type standard table of TY T001W. Have we made T01W? TY T01W. Yes. Okay. And WA T001W, type TY T001W. Okay, check. Algot D, Algot D. Algot. Algot D is not being picked up. TY MARC. Okay, let's. Matter works. Okay, check. Does not have a component called Algot. Not Algot. Not data object does not have a component called Algot. We'll have to keep it. Plant. Sort IT internal table marked by works. Loop. Now, why we are actually sorting there? If you remember, we actually discussed this in a standard table. If the records are appended and there is a duplication, it will crash. So we have to sort it. So when it gets sorted, the duplication part actually gets sorted out. Loop at IT mark into work area mark. Read table IT MAKT into WA MAKT with key MATNA is equal to WA mark MATNA. Now here we are actually matching material number from the table MARC, okay, which is plant and material combination. Read table IT T01W into T01W with key works, and from mark we are also pulling works as well at new works. If W mark works in S works, I guess there is a problem with this. And if okay. Format color positive, right? WA mark Matner, MACTEX works T name one from T001W. Format color off, else format color negative. Right Matner, MACTEX, which is description works, plant and name from all of these tables. So we are actually using 3 to 4 tables at one time to pull all the data. Okay, so I hope this is making sense to you, Azam.
Yes, sir.
I hope this is all clear.
Yes, yes, sir.
Okay, activate. Let's see how it goes. Processing. Okay, P Matner, chassis, plant. MM03. It's not activated. Okay. Missing data. Organization levels for this screen. Logged. What logged does it exist at? PUBG. 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 Code is working fine, but it has to actually execute. Now, we will actually pull in the processing blocks. If we look at the processing blocks, okay. Now, we will be pulling in the processing. Now, we have actually pulled in the table data and the fields that will actually pull material number, plants, and name from MAKT, MARC, and T001W. Now we'll have processing blocks. Now, processing blocks basically are divided into three parts: events, dialogue, and procedures. Events are called from the internally. Procedures can be called from the external programs as well as the internal programs, and we'll see this in details. Event blocks are introduced by event keywords, and they are ended implicitly. Implicitly means that if another event starts after this, the previous event gets closed by next processing block or the end of the program, as opposed to the specifically by their own keyword. So that means this event is concluded if another event is started. Event blocks have no local data area. A data declaration in an event block is added to the global data. So the global data, like when we create the structures, okay, those are universal. Okay, the execution of event block is triggered by an events in ABAP runtime environment. So it is happening internally, but it is happening on the runtime. If an appropriate event block is implemented in ABAP for an event of runtime environment, the event block is executed. Otherwise, the event has no effect. So if the event is not being correctly executed, it will not have any effect. Conversely, event blocks will not be executed in program unless the associated event takes place while the program is being executed. So there is a procedure stepwise where you can trigger the events. So what are the types of events? We will actually look at this in the next lecture as well. So there are types of events like program constructor event, reporting events, selection screen. We've already seen this. Selection screens are events as well, list events, screen events. Okay. So if we look at list constructor, this load of program is also a part of an event. This event is triggered just once during the execution of the program when the program is loaded. This applies to all programs except class pools. Class pools are actually an exception. Okay. The statement in this block allow you to initialize the data of the program, data like variables. Okay. The structures that are pulled in. Okay. You can pull in the external procedures as well to initialize events to run a program. So reporting events basically get started with initialization, which is loading of the variable. Initialization means loading of the parameters. Like not initialize means it's empty. Means having an initial value or not, that is initialization. Start of selection means start of selection is an event block, okay? And a start of selection is basically an execution block in which the code gets executed, and the end of selection marks that this event basically is getting ended. So sometimes you don't have to write end of selection when you are pulling single data, single record. The corresponding event is triggered only when executable program is running. Initialization is used to initialize a data, which is again loading of the variable with some data. Start of selection plays a leading role as standard event. This means that all statements that have not been specifically assigned to another event block are automatically inserted at the beginning of this event block and executed with it. End of selection, this event is used when logical databases are used in the program or to mark the end of data processing. This is the last of the events to be triggered. Okay. So coming back to our program, let's see processing blocks. Okay, let's add some code. Okay, this code is okay, but we'll have to produce the results. But before that, Z process lock. Z data IT MAKT type standard table of MAKT, WMAKT type MAKT, parameters pre-MATNA type MATNA at line selection, call transaction, MM03. Okay. Check is invalid. Okay, okay, because invalid because check. Okay. Go to attributes. M03. Okay. Now, MM03 at selection screen event PMATNA is equal to 100, which is at by default, it will show this, or we can say at selection screen output. Wasn't it? Start of selection perform get data. Now, what is get data? This is basically processing block. Now, perform is the keyword get data. Okay. Now, get data is a form where it is starting from form keyword and ending with end form. In this, we have a variable LV date type datum. Okay. LV date is equal to system date datum. Select all from MAKT into table IT MAKT where MATNA is equal to PMATNA. Okay. Form show output. Now again, we had get data. This was getting triggered by perform. Another perform is show output. Show output is another processing block being triggered from internally. Loop at IT to WMAKT, write MATNA from MAKT, SPRAS from MAKT, MAKTX from MAKT end form. Okay, check. Must be closed by end loop. Where is loop? Okay, end loop, check. Okay, activate. Was net. Jesus. Execute. Okay. So basically, processing blocks are this is how you actually build the processing blocks. Okay. Um, let's stop over here.